Have you ever noticed how mobile cats rub against everything around them? From furniture, doors, people's legs, and even random objects they find along the way. Have you ever stopped to ask yourself why? Is it a simple behavior? A way to say hello? Or is there something even more mysterious hidden in this gesture? Today, let's explore this curious and fascinating behavior. And get ready, because at the end of this video, you will understand what goes on in your cat's mind when he rubs himself around. And who knows, you might even discover that this gesture is much more than just cat mania. So stay until the end and discover the real reason behind this fascinating behavior. I guarantee you will never see your cat the same way again. To understand why cats rub against surrounding objects, we need to go back to the origins of these small felines. Marking territory is an instinctive behavior inherited from their wild ancestors, where ensuring their own space was essential for survival. Did you know that a cat's territory is divided into different areas? Yes, for them, there are priority places, rest areas, and even border areas. Every space he rubs himself in is marked with his own scent, delimiting what he considers safe. These markings occur mainly because the cat has pheromone glands located on the cheeks, around the snout, and at the base of the tail. These glands release a personal scent that is like a silent warning to other animals that may visit the area. Pheromones are a unique form of communication. When a cat rubs its face, it leaves behind an olfactory message that only other cats can understand. This message says something like, "This territory has an owner." Pheromones also transmit information about the cat's emotional state. A scent left while he is calm is different from one released in times of stress or anxiety. Therefore, each area he marks has a very special function. If you notice that your cat is rubbing more intensely in certain places, it could mean that he is feeling insecure or that there has been a change in his territory. It could be the arrival of a new animal, moving furniture, or even the presence of a visitor. Interestingly, even in packs of wild cats, cats exchange pheromones to establish common territory and hierarchy among members. This creates a kind of invisible connection between them. For cats, rubbing against someone or something goes beyond marking territory. This behavior is also an expression of affection. When they rub against you, they're trying to say something very special. Unlike dogs, cats show affection in a more reserved and selective way. By rubbing against you, the cat is demonstrating trust and considering you part of their safe territory. This gesture of trust isn't something they offer to just anyone. Have you noticed how your cat behaves when a visitor arrives at home? They often ignore new people or at most approach with caution. But with you, they act completely differently, showing comfort and intimacy. This is a privilege reserved for the few who are part of the cat's trust circle. For a cat, rubbing against their owner's legs or arms is a silent and sincere way of creating an emotional bond. They're reinforcing their connection with you, saying, "You are important to me." When two cats that get along well rub against each other, it's a clear sign of affection and friendship. This is called allorubbing, a behavior shared by both domestic and wild cats that strengthens the bond between them. In environments with more than one cat, rubbing against each other is essential for peaceful coexistence. By sharing scents, they reinforce a sense of belonging and respect among themselves. The longer cats live together, the more similar they smell, creating a common identity. This exchange of scents and markings creates a sort of feline community. All group members are in harmony and know they belong to the same safe space. Does your cat rub against you often? That's great. Enjoy this moment by returning the affection. Petting their cheeks, where they have pheromone glands, is one way to give love back. So next time your cat rubs against you, remember, they're saying more than you might imagine. It's a simple gesture, but full of meaning, reinforcing the unique relationship between you two. In addition to simply marking territory and expressing affection, cats also use this habit of rubbing to communicate with their surroundings. And of course, with the people in their lives. It's almost as if they're talking to us, but in a very particular and subtle way. When a cat enters a new place, whether it's a different room, a new home, or even someone else's house, they tend to rub against various points in the environment. This behavior not only helps them adapt to the space, but also serves as a message for other cats, or even the owner if another animal has been there. Imagine a cat arriving at a new person's house. They sniff the environment, and then start rubbing against objects around them. By doing this, the cat is communicating to themselves and to any other animal that the environment is safe and has been claimed. It's like a ritual of introduction and identification that they perform to feel more at home. In a space shared by several cats, rubbing against specific points functions as a kind of social code. Cats sharing the same space use this behavior to reinforce a sense of coexistence. It's a kind of silent greeting. For cats, this nonverbal language is essential. It allows them to establish effective communication without noise or aggressive interactions. By spreading their scent, they're signaling to other cats, and even to people, what spaces they consider most important. Pay attention to the specific spots where your cat rubs. They're trying to tell you something. If they rub against you after a long time away, they likely want to reconnect. If they rub against new objects or places that haven't interested them before, they may be investigating or reaffirming the safety of that area. Observe the small details because by rubbing, your cat is creating a unique and exclusive language that only you, their owner, can interpret accurately. Interestingly, rubbing is also a form of self-care for cats. This simple habit can be very effective in reducing stress and improving their overall well-being. When a cat rubs against objects, they release calming pheromones. These pheromones have the power to transmit a sense of security and comfort to the cat. It's almost like a therapeutic effect. The surrounding environment becomes familiar and less threatening. Rubbing also helps the cat relieve accumulated tension. In moments of anxiety, such as with the arrival of new animals, people, or even after a fright, they may rub to self-regulate and calm down. It's an emotional protection mechanism that helps balance their emotional state. If your cat seems to be going through a stressful time, you may notice them rubbing more intensely or in specific spots. You can help by creating a safe environment for them, with familiar objects and a quiet corner where they can feel protected. Imagine you've recently rearranged the furniture in the living room. The cat may feel a bit insecure, so they start rubbing against new places to familiarize themselves. This is their way of recognizing the environment and making it a safe space again. Wild felines also use similar techniques to reduce stress, especially when moving into new areas or encountering predators. They rub on the ground or trees to spread their scent, reinforcing a sense of security. This wild instinct remains in domestic cats, who follow these instincts to ensure their own well-being. Understanding this behavior is essential for everyone living with cats. When you see your cat rubbing throughout the day, remember that they may be comforting themselves, reaffirming their territory, and above all, ensuring they're safe and at peace. One thing all cat owners love is when their felines come and rub against them lovingly. This gesture goes far beyond a simple need to mark territory. It's a pure expression of affection and intimacy. It's a cat's way of saying, "You're part of my world, and I trust you." Cats are independent, but that doesn't mean they don't need affection. When they rub against their owners, they're creating a physical and emotional bond, reinforcing the connection they have with the people who care for them. This behavior not only strengthens the bond between cat and owner, but also shows that the cat appreciates the person's presence. This gesture is a way of giving and receiving love, an emotional exchange that often owners don't notice but means a lot to the animal. In some cultures, seeing a cat rub against someone is seen as a sign of trust. Cats need to feel secure to show affection, so if they choose someone for this interaction, it's because they see that person as a safe haven. Cats show affection in different ways. Some are subtle, giving only light rubs. Others are more intense, repeatedly rubbing against their owners with stronger, more persistent movements. This level of intensity can indicate how connected they are, or how much they've missed someone. To strengthen this bond, return the affection. When your cat comes to rub against you, lower yourself to their level, speak softly, or pet them gently. This will show that you understand and value the interaction they're initiating. Remember, A simple rubbing gesture is, for the cat, a big sign of affection. Returning this affection is a way to tell them you also consider them part of your life. One of the most significant reasons for cats to rub against everything is the desire to reaffirm safety and well-being. When a cat rubs against objects, people, and environments, they're creating a circle of safety around them, reinforcing that this space is comfortable and secure. Cats need to feel they're in a place where they can relax, and spreading their scent throughout the space helps create that sense of security. It's as if the environment is telling them that everything is peaceful, helping them feel more comfortable and at ease. Each time the cat rubs against an object or a person, they're establishing their own space of well-being. This is especially important when there are changes in the environment, like new furniture, unfamiliar people, or even new animals in the house. For cats, smell is a fundamental sense. By spreading their scent in specific places, they create a familiar environment that brings peace. This behavior is even more noticeable in cats who have been rescued or have experienced stress and need to reaffirm their safety. Imagine that an unknown visitor has just left your home. The cat may rub more intensely in the places where the visitor was, as a way of reaffirming that the space is theirs and is now back under control and safe again. If your cat seems nervous in a new environment or unusual situation, let them familiarize themselves with the place, encouraging them to rub and mark their territory. You can even place objects with their scent in specific spots to help them feel secure, providing the cat with a calm space and allowing them to follow their instinct to mark territory is essential for their emotional well-being. An environment where they feel secure is key to a happy cat.